What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Erasure, going back to their 1988 album, The Innocents, their third studio album. As I mentioned when I got this album, I was particularly excited because it included a couple tunes that I remembered, like, you know, maybe not in full detail, but were certainly part of my musical childhood, which is to say Ship of Fools and Chains of Love especially. I mentioned before, Chains of Love and Who Needs Love Like That were two songs that I remembered hearing, remembered, you know, a little bit of the words even, so when I began to think about, you know, going back and rediscovering Erasure's music, those were kind of the tunes that I started with. But, you know, it's only been like 3 or 4 weeks since then, but it feels like a lot of time has passed, and I've come to appreciate Vince and Andy's work much more greatly. Shout out to a number of you that have been commenting. Not only Han Solo commented on a number of Erasure reactions that I've done, but more recently Seb from Germany. What's up, Seb? And he was saying that, you know, some of the early Erasure stuff for him, it's a little too kind of soft and, you know, like a bit too like on the poppy end, but I think he was saying, like, when you get farther along, or no, maybe it was the other way around. I think he was saying that Say Say, which I think is farther ahead of where I am in my journey through their music, was maybe a little bit too soft and kind of sugary or saccharine. But yeah, bottom line, I love that people who maybe found my channel for, you know, reactions to one group have now shown up in the comment sections of these different groups and so on. Because again, I got a lot of space in my brain for different types of music, but even, you know, different groups within one sort of subgenre. So yeah, I love it when people explore different genres, different bands, different albums. It really warms my heart to know that there are other you know, musical nomads out there who just want to go out and find good stuff, whatever that may be. So shout out to all of you. But yeah, we're up to the tune Yahoo, which has an exclamation point. So I realized this was written well before the internet search browser, but it's hard not to think of that, given that is not only the phrase Yahoo, but actually has the exclamation point too. But to try to divorce it from that ultimately anachronistic sort of interpretation, it does make me think about exhilaration, ecstatic feelings, that sensation that you get when you are just at the top level of excitement and again, exhilaration. It is specifically an interjection, right? Like in a linguistic sense, it's an interjection, which you're not expecting a response, you're not hoping to elicit some information, you're ultimately just conveying verbally the level of your emotional feeling in that moment. So one might suspect that this will relate to sort of good feelings and good sensations, and because they do talk a lot about relationships and sex specifically, one is led to wonder whether this might be physical ecstasy and the expression thereof. So we'll have to see. But without further ado, let's get to it. This is Erasure, Yahoo, on The Innocents, 1988.
Should not be called if you want to wed the devil's daughter. I pray to the Lord on high to set you free. Better you decide to cut him loose and survive.
I like his delivery here.
I pray to the Lord on high
I was gonna say, it almost has this kind of like gospel kind of singing feel. That I pray to the Lord on high, like right as I'm saying that or thinking that. Oh, Vince. Waiting till the morn. Or find your way into the Lord. Is that what he's saying? Okay, so yeah, we got a lot of like religious themes and like iconography. Trade your soul for a little of the devil's gold. Trade your soul for a little of the devil's gold, making Mephistophelian agreements here. Singing it. Temptation, like, and I love like casting a song about relations and maybe intimacy in the language of temptation and sort of, you know, religious understandings. It's cheeky. It's just smart, like, song composition. Yeah. Vocals here. I don't know if that's like multiple, like a female chorus, or if, or like choral group, or if that's like one voice like layered. But it just adds to this like spiritual kind of gospel feel of the song. This is another song where like it's manifesting what it's talking about, like stylistically. I love their choruses. Their choruses always just give me like a good feeling. Just make me like happy and sort of focus on kind of the crazy things that we humans do and kind of the best possible interpretations I can have of that. I walk away from listening to Erasure with good feelings, is what I'm saying. I like the way it's stripped down really quickly. Yeah, it's cool. Again, I love the playful use of sort of, you know, religious iconography and talking about it in a way that feels like it is very much about reaching those sort of heights of ecstasy and interpersonal intimacy. Say that 3 times fast. But yeah, I really enjoyed that, and as I said, like the chorus in particular sort of stuck out as a real kind of like fun, kind of groovy feeling. So I like that. I do want to listen to it some more and try to see if I can penetrate those lyrical themes a little bit more. Like I said, you know, there were lines about temptation, and there are lines about, you know, trading your soul for a little of the devil's gold, which, you know, maybe devil's gold in this context is that sort of, that bright sort of top of the mountaintop sort of experience that, you know, you can only have with someone who not only you have a good physical connection with, but that you care about and so on. So like, yeah, I wonder if some of the metaphors there are like more physical, or if it's like more just a kind of about the emotional spectrum and not necessarily about that physical ecstasy. But I suspect there's a bit of both. It seems like a lot of their songs, like they're getting at intimacy from multiple angles. And again, you know, it does seem that Andy does like to sing about love and emotion and sex a lot. So yeah, that's I think why I'm inclined. It's like when I do Depeche Mode reactions, and it's like, well, you know, like with a lot of their titles, you just instantly start thinking about sort of the darker underbellies of like interpersonal psychology, because they just have so many songs that get at that sort of concept. So yeah, I feel like, you know, it's a different flavor and a different angle for Erasure, but they are often speaking about interpersonal relationships, it seems. Once again, I wanted to give a shout out to Han Solo. He had linked me an interview around, I think it was like 2010, when, what is it, VCMG, which was Vince Clarke and Martin Gore. I think, you know, they did a collab back then, I think. I haven't heard the material yet, and I'm kind of like, you know, trying to get through some other things, but eventually I want to like put some more focus on that. But I wanted to give Han Solo a shout out just because seeing that interview was so great. It's like, I've been listening to a lot of Vince Clarke's music. I think I've come to a slightly better understanding of, you know, his wizardry and his excellent synth pop sonics. Still a lot of traveling to go in that regard, still a lot of understanding still yet to attain. But now kind of understanding his role more. I mean, I knew a few years ago, it's like, oh man, well, he was part of Depeche Mode at the beginning, and I know he was in that group Yaz, which, you know, at the time I thought that's what they were called, and it's like, oh wait, it's Yazoo. And I knew he was in Erasure, but I didn't quite appreciate, like, you know, the sort of evolution of his sound and what he was bringing to these different groups, and the way that he really seems good at finding sonics that accentuate the voice of the person he's working with, whether that be Dave Gaughan or Alison Moyer or Andy Bell. So yeah, I really enjoyed watching that interview, because not only was it cool to see him talk, which, you know, over the years I haven't done that much. I've seen a lot more behind the scenes stuff at Depeche Mode, so it was cool to just see that, and to see him and Martin Gore, you know, seemingly so far beyond whatever, you know, sort of personal fallout might have happened when he being Vince, left Depeche Mode. It was really great to see. So once again, shout out to Han Solo for that, and to all of you who sort of shared links and information about the releases and the songs that I'm reacting to. I do appreciate you all. Anyway, let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.